Alright guys, it's your boy Newteddyera, and I've been getting a couple messages from my friends on YouTube saying that they wanted me to do a deck profile of the Geargias. It was a little discussion me and him had. He was talking about Inzektors and Geargias, which one I prefer, and I said Geargias, so he said can I do a deck profile for him. So here you go. I forget your name, kinda my bad, but here's the deck profile anyway. We run the 3 Geargia armors. You can see it, or is it glare? Good? Alright. 3 Geargia armors. Everybody knows the main searcher. You know, you flip it up, search out, and accelerator. Just more plays. 3 accelerators, 3 sentinels, and Astro Pack 5. This is coming out in as a super rare, so that's gonna make the deck a little more shiny. It's gonna look nice. Then we have the 3 MK2s, and I do still run the Geargiano. People are taking it out for Birdman or something like that. I understand why, but Birdman, to me, I like it. In theory, it's supposed to work, but to me, the Geargiano does more than just make a rank 3 or turn into level 4s with Geargia gear. So this card just does a lot more things than just that. But at 1 is the perfect number, so I still run it. Then the last 4 monsters, 2 of each hand, and you know, I'll be doing a discussion video on these, maybe after this video or whatever. But a discussion video on the hands, why they're so good right now and why they were so prevalent the last format. So onto the spells. 3 upstarts. Everybody knows the Patrick Hoban theory. I still like this because since going first you only draw 5 cards, sometimes you upstart and giving your opponent 1,000 just to get that last card can be very problematic for your opponent. It might let you set up and do what you have to do. A lot of people are cutting upstart because of Soul Charge being a thing, but a lot of times with this deck needs to get that 1 extra card just to get over anything that your opponent may have. Dark Hole, Bottomless, and Mind Control. Mind Control is the best card right now. Every deck has a level 4 in it or level 3 in it that you could always possibly take. I'm also going to be doing a discussion video on Dark Hole. My theory why Dark Hole is still one of the greatest spell cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, now onto the traps. It's very heavy trap lineup. 1 Geargia gear, because sadly it went to 1. To me, I think Konami hit the right thing with the Geargia gear, because if they would have hit the MK2, the deck would have been very mediocre, very lackluster. So 1 Geargia gear, 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, 1 Warning. The Fantastic Four. The deck, every deck that runs traps need to have these 4 in it. It's mandatory. Shaking over there?
No, because you're saying it's mandatory. I don't want it.
It is mandatory.
No.
Everybody should run a solemn warning. Now, 2 Fiendish Chain. A lot of people don't run Fiendish Chain anymore. They run Breakthrough Skill. Yes, Breakthrough Skill's wonderful. Greatest card ever, right? I don't think so. To me, Fiendish Chain negates the effect and the potential attack. Who really runs normal monsters anymore? People run MSTs, yes, but I would love for them to waste their MST on a Fiendish Chain. They're going to run into so many other problematic traps that you will see in a second that makes this so good in this deck. So 2 Fiendish Chain, 2 Deep Prison. I did have it at 3, and I did have Mirror Force at 3, but I sat down and was like, well, battle traps are very lackluster right now. A lot of people really destroy back row then attack, but since people taking out MSTs and stuff like that, these kind of still dwindle against your opponent. Deep Prison hurts all the hands, so that's why I have these 6 were the perfect number. I took out a Mirror Force, took out a Deep Prison for Fiendish Chains. So, alright. And then 2 Black Horn of Heavens. This was at 3, but I figured putting it at 2 is the perfect number. And the last 2 cards to make it 40 is Wiretap. Wiretap, Wiretap, Wiretap. This card was like $1 when it first came out. Now it's up to like 10, 15. So if you guys can pick them up, they are one of the greatest counter trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, so the deck is 40. Now I'm going to go into the extra deck real quick for you guys. Alright, that's that. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't separate it, which I usually do all the time, but alright. So we have 1, 2, 3 Geargia necks once I find it. Okay, 3 Geargia necks. Mandatory. I've seen people run 2 now. If they're running Goyle, they cut this. No. This deck needs 3 mandatory. 2 1-on-1s. The reason I run 2, because one against your opponent hurts, and they usually take your 1-on-1 after you took theirs. This is like how the big guys were Dragon Rulers going around and people taking their big eye for your big eye to that big eye, and you ended up with 5 big eyes on the field. So this is somewhat like that, but the reason why I run 2 is because this deck has very weak monsters. They lose to high power monsters. So if I want to win, I want to be able to control your monsters. And 9 times out of 10, the monsters that are coming out that are strong are special summoned. So 1-on-1 at 2. 1 emerald just to recycle some things, just in case if it goes to a grind out game. Ragnar 0 just because of Bujins, Fire Fist, things like that. Dweller against the hands are so good. Exiton, Black Shippercorn, Dire Wolf, Cowboy just to win games. And then the 3 rank 3s, Zen Mains, Tempo, and Alucard. Zen Mains might come out for another Alucard, but as of right now, that's where we stand. And the side, real quick, is not very complete, but as of yet, this is what I'm running. 3 MSTs in the side, 2 Noblemen to cross out. Good against the mirror match. Get rid of their armors when they have a set. For light Sworns, Bujins, anything that deals with light. Bujins again. And spell books, things like that. Noble Knights. Those all hurt against this card. Again, one Black Horn. 2 XYZ Universe. So good right now, especially every deck needs to exceed if they want to win. 2 Maxis because Maxi is so good, and 1 Neo Space and Grand Mode. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me why I run this. I have space. I had 1 more spot, and I didn't want to put just like a D Prison or a Mirror Force or something like that. I wanted to put this. This more or less gets rid of all problematic cards. It just composes everything. So that's the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for my next video. I will be doing some discussion videos, and yeah guys, comment, like, subscribe. 15 likes on this video, next video will go up. Peace, YouTube.